Hello, my name is Justin Jarrett. This is Infiltration, Ways of Water, Riverbeds to Rooftops, working to daylight the DeVores Mill stream that flows beneath Manhattan. I'd like to start off with the genesis of the project, discussing filtration, onto some fractal experiments, site and context, and finally the design that's in progress. I've always been interested in the Floridian aquifer. It's comprised of various layers of fine silts and aggregates and limestone, and through these layers, water is naturally filtered as it permeates the earth. It's collected in a basin that is the aquifer and released into small estuaries and creates various ecosystems around the state. So with that in mind, these fractal explorations try to work with layering and porosity, and ultimately trying to create a scaffolding that would lend itself to these types of bays for natural growth. Also thinking of the flow of water and the cohesion and the way that it would move over the surfaces. Playing with light and color, just various experiments. Speaking of light and color, also adding elements of distortion and refraction, trying to collect light and create these types of illusions of geometry. I found this very interesting. Also implementing it in an idea of a cistern that would kind of symbolize the very basin of the Floridian aquifer, this catchment of water, and ultimately where the DeVores Mill stream would be daylit. Moving into some experiments with a 3D printed model, trying to work with ink and oil and paint, and trying to just experiment with how water would run down the system, adhere to the facade, and finally ultimately collect in this type of reflection pool. So for the site, I've selected the USPS building, 909 3rd Avenue. You can see that it's already a canvas for reflection just based off of the materials of the context around it. So ultimately, this fractal composition lends itself to harness layers of aggregates through this kind of cylindrical void that is occurring in multiple directions in the module. So these are just some diagrams showing it, and also these layers of the aquaculture biofilters. Ultimately, we could use the facade of the existing building as water catchment to service the gardens and flow down through the cistern and through the fractal installation. Works as a scaffolding here, showing that there could be these types of plant growth and microbiomes that would populate along the entirety of it. And here's just some conceptual renderings so far of the system as it penetrates down the building and opens up the facade. Thank you.